Pando killed the beat.
Today we're going to be talking about why marriage is a waste of time. Right? Okay. Before I get started, I just want to say you have a small percentage of people that do find, I think, this thing that they call love, and they get married and it helps work. So I'm only going to be talking to maybe 99% of people on this one. The other 1%, I'll let it slide, because I think I do be finding some couples, like, you can feel their vibe and you're like, you know what, these people are in love. I don't think that should dog this dude out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can feel it, but then you feel other couples and you're like, oh, they just together because they got kids. You know what I'm saying? And my advice when it does come to like marriages, a lot of husbands that I talk to, they say that they wouldn't even be married if it wasn't for kids. For one, I've never in my life have had a man that was in a marriage encourage another man to get married. I normally hear married men say, hey, don't do it till you get ready. You got to make sure you're ready for it. That's what I hear. I don't hear too many men trying to encourage other men to get married. That's the first thing I want to point out. All right, now we're going to get right into it. One of the first reasons is it's delusional. It's an illusion. This is how women get caught up in marriage. It's a fairy tale that's like Beauty and the Beast, that ends with you marrying a person you're going to spend the rest of your life with in this fantasy happy world together. It doesn't work like that. That fantasy does not exist at all. Most couples look miserable, but being that it's a delusion and it's inside of an illusion, women fall for it every time because they're in it for the storyline. The guy is in it because he's thinking, oh man, I got the sex is good. Because yeah, it's good. She ain't got you trapped in yet. You know what I mean? She ain't got it. The sex is good. They always turn on the sex when they trying to win you over. The sex is good. He's in love with her. He's head over heels, blue pill shit. He don't even see what's going on. He's thinking when he gets married, he's gonna come home, have the best sex, something to cook, and somebody to support him. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Nah, it's strategy. It's mental games. It's emotional game. It's cabin fever, being around the same person every day. It's when that person's drinking water, you're like, oh my God, why do you have to drink water that loud? That's what it turns into. You found someone to spend the rest of your life with, and you embedded yourself with kids. That's all a marriage is. You're gonna find someone just to have kids with and be next to. The fairy tale's over with. See, the thought of the fairy tale is what made marriage feel so good. Just that thought that's been implanted in your head ever since you were a youngster growing up. That's what you've seen in comic books. That's what you've seen on TV. That's what you were taught. The fairy tale. So you're going to live out that fairy tale, but it's far from a fairy tale once you get inside. It's more like a nightmare. It's a nightmare. That's what it is. It's a nightmare. Secondly, it's expensive. Why spend all the money? The average wedding is $20,000. The average ring is $5,000. Give or take all the little expenses that come in between there. For a mediocre wedding, you're going to be looking at $30,000. For what? A whole bunch of people that you're rarely going to see again? Majority of people that you have at your wedding are only there because of her. She wants 1,000 people at her wedding so she can feel like this fairy tale. So you just gonna be inviting whoever to a wedding. You're gonna be paying for meals for whoever at a wedding for her. It's expensive. Think about the ring. And then when you do the ring, and then you're doing the wedding, and then you gotta continuously buy her stuff throughout the marriage. It gets expensive on a man to keep up with a woman trying to satisfy her for something that's never gonna be satisfied. It's an ongoing expense. When you're dealing with a wedding, not only are you paying for the wedding, but you're paying for everything else that comes after that to maintain the status of the wedding. So if you have a lavish wedding, then you have to have a lavish lifestyle. So now you got to do everything lavishly. It gets expensive. So imagine you going through all that, living your lavish list, spending all this money, and then you're still getting tired of looking at her. You're still getting tired of hearing from her. The sex is starting to get old. Now it's, oh man, like, do you have to put on your socks that loud? You know what I'm saying? It comes down to other stuff. And my third thing is, it only benefits the woman. Men are not winning at all in a marriage. There's nothing for you to win. Everything is there for her to gain. Unless you were a homeless guy who married a billionaire and she didn't sign no prenup, it didn't work out, y'all got a divorce, there go your come up. But believe it or not, that's why she get married, because this is her come up. The only people that don't get married for the come up are 50-year-olds. They don't get married for the come up. They get married because they getting close to the death and they're like, you know what? Dating's hard out here in the streets. Let me just get married. But when you in your 20s and 30s and you get married, a woman is only getting married in her 20s and 30s if it's a come up to her. She's going to marry the guy that gives her the best come up. And a lot of times these are going to be guys that are not in her league and out of her league. And she knows that, but he's willing to pay for her to be in the league. He's willing to give her control over his life just to be next to her. This is how he gets swiveled into a marriage. That's the blue pill guy. She gonna marry that blue pill because he's gonna give up all his power just to get her, you know? My fourth thing is slavery to the man. I don't care what anybody says. Marriage is slavery to the man. And throughout that entire marriage, you're gonna constantly be working. You're gonna constantly be paying for everything. You're gonna constantly be doing what she tells you to do. It's slavery. And if you get a divorce, you're going to be a slavery still trying to pay for her. That's what it is. Husbands are slaves. You're there to work your ass off for whatever she wants. And you're there to provide that to her. You're draining yourself, man. It's a form of slavery. You're wasting your time. All because you signed that piece of paper. See, if you don't relinquish your power and have her sign that piece of paper and she stays in the girlfriend zone, then you don't relinquish your power and she stays in a psyche where she's actually still trying to win you over. You know how many of these rock stars have had the same girlfriend for years that they didn't marry but got kids by them? You know how many guys have girlfriends that got kids by them but never marry them, but the girl is still there, still trying to win them over? She didn't go anywhere. But soon as he was to come and marry her, man, she gonna run all over him. Women do better whenever you do not relinquish your power. The moment a man marries a woman, it is over for him. You have given up all your power. The longer you go without marrying her, the better she's gonna act. She's gonna adjust her lifestyle to get that wedding ring, to get the wedding, to get everything she wants to fulfill this fairy tale. The moment she fulfills this fairy tale, it's over for the man. That's when the marriages start going down. When the sex stops, the relationship stops. Understand that right now. When the sex stops, the relationship stops. And what couples are gonna do when they're not around each other, they're gonna be masturbating themselves. They're going to start off masturbating themselves, and then next thing you know, they're going to be doing little flirts here and there with other women, little flirts here and there with other men, little flirts here and there with other women. There she go, flirts here and there with other men, seeing if she still got it. And if she thinks she still got it and she can move on and get something better, you're going to get some divorce papers. A man is rarely going to relinquish those divorce papers. But nowadays, that's the first thing she's thinking about whenever the sex gets old. Whenever you go to drink your water and she's saying to herself, why do you have to drink water that loud? She's thinking about divorce papers. When both of y'all get out there, y'all start looking the other direction, and you know the love is gone and it's probably going to be a divorce, you're going to look back and say, I wasted my time. That's what people are doing now, wasting their time. See, with me, I've watched so many people before me get married and make the mistake. I learned from them. The only thing is, I can't get why so many guys nowadays haven't learned from guys before them to keep from making a mistake. Because blue pill men are trapped in an illusion too. They're just is that they're caught inside of that fairy tale too. You feel what I'm saying? They're caught inside of it. This is why you still have guys out there that just cannot wait to get married because they're trapped inside the fairy tale. They think something good's gonna come from the fairy tale. Nothing good's come from the fairy tale. The moment you relinquish your power to a woman, you relinquish everything. She would take control of your soul and she would ruin it. And you would be you and the kids are gonna be in the same boat. Yep. Both of y'all gonna be getting talked to the same. And the only time you gonna get sex is when she wants to have a kid, or if you don't bought her something that she really, really wants. You're wasting time. If you're gonna sit around here and spend money like that, at least get you another girl. You know what I'm saying? If you spending money like that, you shouldn't be getting married. Don't get married. Don't relinquish that power. It's a waste of time. Both of you at some point are going to like other people. That's just how it is. Now, if you're still dating, it's hard for you to like other people because that challenge is still there for her. So she's still going to be trying to keep the spice in the relationship. But the moment you get married, you guys are going to grow apart away from each other. You're only going to be acting when you get around people. It's a waste of time. Best thing to do is to date. And if it don't work out, you go your way, you go that way. Have a child. If you want a child, but both of you have an agreement, this is what comes with having a child. This is what we're going to do with having a child. The child can still be raised good, but marriage is not what it used to be anymore. And the attention spans and the neediness and the delusionalness of women, it's not even worth even living next to them for a long period of time. They're bound to do something to piss you off, make you mad. And when you act emotional towards a woman, she's going to take that and destroy you. This is why marriage is not worth it. That's me, cutting metal with no eye protection. I'll pay for that later on. Welcome back to the Who is the Anthony Spade channel. Comment, like, subscribe at the end of the video. But first, watch the entire video. All right. I got pissed off this morning. The reason why I got pissed off is because Custom Offsets messed up my order. All right, let me explain the story to you. I bought these rims, I'll probably say a month ago. All right, so I've been waiting on the confirmation number on the tracking. They sent me a tracking number, but it wasn't coming to me. It was going to their warehouse. So I called them up and said, hey, the tracking number is going to your warehouse. What's going on? They said, we had to order the tires. I said, I thought you already had my order. They said, no, we were just waiting on the tires. We're sorry for that. So they sent me another tracking number after that for something that was coming to my house. And I thought it was the order, but when it got here, it was only the bolts. So I called them back and said, hey, what's going on? And they said, we got to wait another 2 weeks because the rim that they sent us had a crack in it. And I said, how could they send you rims that have a crack in it when you said that you already had the wheels were good and all you needed was tires? So in other words, they was telling me I had to wait a whole nother 3 weeks on top of the month that I was already waiting. So we had to go ahead and cancel that order because they messed it up. They had an eBay order and they had a custom offset order under the same order, which is what confused their system. And they wasn't willing to do anything to expedite the shipping. So I went on and canceled the order, all right? And because it really, really pissed me off. But it was a blessing in disguise. And the reason why I say that is because the rim I ordered was a really good looking rim. But to be honest with you, it wasn't gonna go that good with the truck. It was gonna go, but it wasn't gonna go that good with the truck. So I'm kind of happy that the order did mess up because I was able to go back and get an all black solid rim that I initially wanted. Before, it wasn't an all black rim, it was black with a little gray specks, but I was able to go back to another company and get a set of all black rims.